Hi, we're the Huge Movie Fanatics here to deliver our review for New Lines.
Yeah.
Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
The second final Friday.
This one, I'm kind of conflicted about because there is a lot of interesting. There's also a whole lot of shitty. And the shitty definitely outweighs the interesting. What they tried to do was they saw Freddy had this really kind of unique and interesting backstory, and they tried to give that to Jason more so than he already had, like tie him to some form of netherworld connection. And they did it, and it wasn't necessarily successful. But I did like the idea, like they enforced the principles of A Nightmare on Elm Street onto Friday the 13th, and it didn't work. It actually worked better in Freddy vs. Jason than it works in this movie, which is kind of weird. But you have like supernatural Jason, which he's always been kind of supernatural to some extent.
Yeah.
This time they give a reason for it. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I give him props for trying. It was unique. It was interesting. I don't know if a lot of the failures to succeed come from the director or come from the producers at New Line, or if it was New Line's idea to begin with, to just be like, well, let's give Jason something a little more supernatural to give him an edge. I don't know where it came from, but I like the idea. It didn't pan out. Jason's not in the movie. It's a whole bunch of Jason's presence in other people.
A bored guy, a news reporter, a stupid old cop.
That stuff doesn't work, let me tell you.
Shit.
Really doesn't work. But Jason looks the best in this movie, hands down, in my opinion. This is the best looking Jason in the 4 shots you see him in.
Yeah, that's just about it.
Yeah, but this is what, like, man, the design on him was so fabulous. And this is, when I think of Jason, this is immediately the Jason image that comes to my mind.
With the mask that's grown into his face.
Yeah, grown into his face, missing here, so you have the empty eye socket that's actually visible.
It's only missing there after, after in the last half, because of the explosion,
Yeah, and like all of that man, that was cool. And the final, I don't know, the final shit, and there's nothing really all that special about this movie, outside of it was an interesting idea. They had the gunslinger kind of guy coming in who's the Jason Hunter. Like, that was kind of stupid.
And I noticed...
it could have been neat.
I noticed they did a thing like a Jaws, and it must have been totally an homage to Jaws, where he's like, mask, machete, whole damn thing.
Yeah, yeah, like, I mean, that could have been kind of done right if there'd been like some lead up to it in a previous movie, maybe, but no. I don't know, I think it just was a whole lot of interesting ideas that weren't successful, which is unfortunate because the ideas themselves are kind of good. The movie does do a shout out to 2 of my 2 favorite horror franchises after Scream, but Scream wasn't in existence yet. You see the Book of the Dead from The Evil Dead. Right on, guys, that was cool. Apparently they stole that and Raimi never got it back.
Well, the guys involved in the makeup effects for Jason Goes to Hell did it from Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, like they asked Raimi for it and Raimi never got it back and he's pissed.
Yeah,
I thought
he talks
they
about
would have
had it because they made it. I mean, they would have made more than one or something.
They asked him for it, and he talked about that on one of the commentaries or something. That he was kind of pissed about it. That he said one of the Jason pictures, but he didn't know which one.
Right.
I mean, honestly.
Wowzers,
but and then you have Freddy come in for the very big teaser, Freddy vs. Jason, which was sure to come out the following year.
Yeah.
10 years later. But yeah, I like that Freddy came in at the end and was like the guardian of hell. That's how I took it anyway. That sucking him down because Jason was sort of pushing his way back up, I guess, or whatever. That was kind of neat.
Well, the mask was left for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought he'd put that on.
Yeah. So, I don't know, that was cool. Had cool moments here and there.
Harry Manfredini.
He came back.
He came back to do, unfortunately, a synthesized score. That's
it was, but I actually liked it.
Yeah, well, it's better than Fred Mullins. So.
Yeah, I liked the score. It was noticeably back to it. The movie's gross, though. That's one of my biggest problems with it. Is like,
well, the unrated version, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the only one I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. Well, the R's not going to be as bad.
It's really gross.
The DVD's got
especially
both
like the dude who gets burned and the grill. You know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain. Like, the movie's gross. The eating of the heart thing was kind of...
Oh my gosh. That's way cut down in our version.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. The movie's gross. I'm going to give it 1 star. Yeah.
we saw this movie. I don't know if it must have been opening day or something like that, but we saw it over around my neck of the woods, and it was the craziest thing. We knew about this in advance. John D. LeMay, who's the lead in it, the guy, was actually at the theater signing posters. So me and all my friends I knew at the time actually went to see it. It was quite a row, and we met John D. LeMay. I remember one of my friend's brothers was like, "So you play Jason, right?" And I'm like, I know, I don't know anything. I'm not with him. So yeah, that was kind of cool. What was really cool is seeing this. I mean, we didn't know who the hell John D. LeMay was, you know. But so there he was, and then we go into the movie and then we see him up on the screen. That was kind of cool. I gotta tell you, when the thing first starts, New Land logo goes out. You do have your back, you know, and it fades in on a lake, and it actually Harry's redoing his old early Friday 13th on
the opening of this movie is good.
The synthesizer, the little cue, and I'm like, oh my god! All of us were like, holy shit! We were so excited for the first few minutes of this movie, and then Jason showed up. He looked fucking awesome. It was like, oh my god! And then we loved the fact that it was so cool to see him blown up. But then I can't speak for everyone, but I'm sitting there going, okay, wait, he's blown up. I kind of every minute that passed, I'm kind of like kind of worried. I get more and more worried, and then bringing him in the morgue. I actually like the opening credit sequence where they'll do a credit and they'll cut back to him where he's looking at whatever and does this and that. It was made. Oh, we should mention that it was directed by a 23-year-old, newly out of film school, Adam Marcus, who I think had some ties with the Cunninghams or something. That's the reason why he was able to do it. But the movie felt very much like a student movie because of that. It felt like a film school project. Because, I mean, what I mean by that is like the humor. The humor, which is very much there in that opening credit sequence with like, my professional opinion, he's holding his head. This guy's deader than shit. And the camera goes to black and he's like, strike that last comment from the record. I mean, that's like film, that's film student stuff.
Yeah, it is,
and we were really liking all that stuff up until, because we were wondering what's going to happen, up until he bites the goddamn heart and he eats the heart, and then we see, he's like, and the lights coming off of his body into him, and I'm getting really worried at this point in the theater, and then it's like, the guy comes in and he's like, oh yeah, what? Hey, dried up maggoty fuck. He's talking to the corpse, and then of course Jason, being the coroner, is like, and when he killed the guy, I'm like, oh my god, that's Jason in that guy, isn't it? And he walks by that reflective surface, and you see Jason. And that I was just so disappointed.
I like the idea of like a killer who can jump bodies and stuff like that. That's genius. It doesn't work for Jason. That's what doesn't work with the movie. The script is actually not too bad, or the story, the plot, the premise isn't bad. It's just why is
not
this
for Jason?
No.
The funny thing is about Adam.
For Freddy.
The funny thing about Adam Marcus is he's been quoted saying that the last thing fans want to see is Jason, killing whatever, naked, sex-crazed people in the woods again. And it's like, no. As a fan of Friday the 13th, that's exactly what I want to see. And that's the problem. But, going so far, I mean, this is like the 9th movie. It's, was their attempt to trying something different that was just so raw. I just watched it, a couple weeks ago. And the funny thing is it moves along. And it's very watchable. But the thing is, it's not watchable as a Friday the 13th movie. It's watchable as, I don't know what the hell it is, just generic body switcher, And when I was younger and it just came out on video, I mean, I used to watch the beginning and the end. I mean, with the Kane Hodder's, the Jason stuff.
I keep coming back to the body switching thing. That would have worked geniusly if Jason talked. Like, as I say, I think if they did that with the Freddy movie,
you mean if the character talked.
Jason just doesn't speak, so there's no purpose for him switching bodies. Freddy talks. That would have worked in a Freddy movie because you get a character, you get personality, you can see that that's the killer and identify with it, and it doesn't piss you off that isn't Freddy on screen, because it still is, because it's his voice. Like, that would have been I think the movie actually would have been a good Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Kind of to do it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do this, but I'm just going to go 2 stars. 2 stars because it is very watchable, and the humor, you know, like I say, it does have this cool film school project kind of a sense of humor and simplicity about it that is very much of a very young filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that in a good way. It shows that in a good way. But as a Friday 13th, I mean, I don't, when I do when I watch all of them, you know, one a day or whatever for a while, I mean, I stop pretty much at 8. I don't really, you know, I don't really consider it a Friday 13th. So,
yeah.
What do you think?
That's it.
That's Jason Goes to Hell, the second final Friday. So there you go. Which is interesting. I told him before the review, if you look at the DVD, which came out after Jason X was made, they took off the final Friday. If you look at the VHS or the theatrical poster,
does the film still say Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday, like when the opening credits?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I will say
yeah, it does.
I just want to say the poster for the movie is phenomenal. I love the
Which
poster.
one are you referring to? The chrome
one.
mask?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck's that worm though?
I don't know. It's just
generic
cool.
Java worm.
Yeah, I mean, like when I saw that cover, like I was like, I want to see this movie so bad, and I didn't see it for years. I don't think I saw it until I was like 16 maybe. And then when I saw it, I was like, well, this movie's not nearly as cool as the cover is. But I'd always seen that cover and always liked
at the video store.
Yeah, at the video store, or I actually had it cut out from when it was in the newspaper. I cut it out on the paper. I think I still have it somewhere.
I got the Part 8 one of that cut out.
Yeah, and like, I think it's the best of all of the Friday the 13th covers, like in terms of making you want to see the movie, but it has nothing to do with the movie, and the movie kind of sucks, so there you have it. But
so there you go.
That's Friday the 13th.
You mean Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.